It's December 24th, 1862. An area northeast of Vicksburg, Mississippi, known as the area of Walnut Hills. The historical part of this adventure we were fixing to play takes prior to what is known as the Vicksburg Campaign. It started, most history books will tell you, on December 29th of 1862 and went to January 11th of 1863. When the Union Army, commanded by the Major General Ulysses S. Grant, moved to take over the Confederate stronghold of Vicksburg, Mississippi. The Confederate Army was led by Lieutenant General John Pemberton in this area. Vicksburg, as you would know, runs along south and east of the Yazoo River. As history would show, the Union Army moved in through the Yazoo River with some of their ships and troops to move in and take over and defeat the Confederates at the city of Vicksburg. There's also quite a bit of area of bayou and swampy ground that surrounds the outlet of the Yazoo River, known as the Chickasaw Bayou, which runs between the Yazoo River and the Big Black River. As far as history and factual information, that is where we will stop for now. As we go to December 24th, 2 days prior to the Battle of Chickasaw Bayou, we find our Confederate troops and their unit is preparing for this campaign of hearing stories and rumors that the Union Army is moving in from the north. That morning, your sergeant, by the name of Jordan Evans, comes to your group, tells you of moving northeast of Vicksburg, that you'll be going to an area known as Hayne's Bluff, to a small town there along the Yazoo River and the bayou, the Chickasaw Bayou, to set up and monitor and look for any Union movement of ships or troops coming in. So we begin with you, Daniel. If you'll tell me who you're playing and what class that he's playing, as we're using white box as our rule set in classes for Civil War made by myself.
I'm playing Private Billy Hawkins. He's not been a soldier very long. He was recruited into the infantry, as the resources started to dry up. They kind of kept getting younger and younger. So Billy says that he's 18, but he's yet to find a razor to shave his face, and he's an infantryman.
All right, perfect. Mac, if you'll tell us about who you're playing and what class you are.
I'm playing Haskin Jenkins. Jenkins is a cavalry scout. He's probably mid-30s. He's been with the Wahoo Riders that have been attached and reorganized down here. Been doing a lot of harassing movements up in northern Mississippi, but has been pulled back down here. He's fighting the war mainly to get away from his wife and kids. He's got 6 kids and 1 wife, and I think he's tired of both of them.
All right, perfect. Joe, as you finish this out, tell us about who you're playing and what class. And
well, I am playing Sergeant Jack Thomas. He is an infantryman. He is in his 30s, not exactly sure how old. He enlisted. He was actually in the U.S. Army. He was one of the soldiers who defected. He's native of Tennessee, so he defected from the Union Army to the newly formed CSA after the outbreak of hostilities and, of course, the War of Northern Aggression. He liked the Army before the war, and I mean, it's war. It's what he was trained to do, but he's not crazy about it now. He's seen enough, but there's just not any other option for him. Obviously, it's not the kind of world in which he can just say, well, I quit. I'm going to go home to my, oh, that's right, I don't have a home. It is the Army. So.
All right, perfect. As you three are milling around Vicksburg on Christmas Eve, 1862, and your Sergeant Jordan Evans, which you would know is a fairly young man, very baby-faced, clean-shaven, with a short haircut as he walks over. He's been promoted to sergeant. You see him walking over with another character who has entered the scene. Crystal, if you'll tell me about who you're playing and what class they are, please, as you're walking in with the Sergeant Jordan Evans up to the group of the other men.
My character is named Thomas Johnson. He is an officer in the Civil War, and as he was going about his business, getting his men together to get their stuff together and everything, the sergeant called him over and so this is where he's at now. He's not sure exactly why he's here, but when the sergeant asked him to come over, he did.
As you move towards all of the group moves together, Sergeant Evans looks at all of you with a kind of a wry smile, and he goes, well, don't look like we're going to be spending Christmas here in Vicksburg with all the good food and drink. They want us to move on up to the Yazoo River there close to Hayne's Bluff. There's a little town there, but we're supposed to move up there and watch for them Union boys to move on down. Word is they're coming down the next few days, and we need to move on up there and scout. So y'all get your stuff together. We're going to be leaving out pretty soon. We need to get up there before dark.
Well, you heard him, men. Come on, get your stuff together. Let's move out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to get my stuff.
Yeah, Haskins will go find his horse, and we'll get ready to bug out of here. He doesn't want to dig trenches anyway, so.
Yep, as your group gets your equipment together and stock enough to move out, the weather starts to change. It's cold, very cold for Mississippi.
I got a quick question.
Sure.
Can I, while the men are getting all their stuff together, can I ask the sergeant here if there's anything else that he can help us with? Like maybe I can roll for it, as I'm good with speech.
Yeah, what are you wanting him to help with?
I want to know if maybe if there's anything he's kind of holding back that he's not supposed to tell us, like something he knows like that might be ahead, but it would scare us off from wanting to go and everything if he told us.
Using that officer class skill, I see. Right.
Yep, make me a D6 roll. You got a 3 out of 6 using it.
Okay. Oh, I got a 6. No, I asked terribly.
Yeah, he looks at you and he goes, well, no offense there, sir, but, I've told you everything they told me. Them boys in blue are going to be coming down sooner or later, but I don't know, maybe there'll be a hot meal up there at Hayne's Bluff. Get your mind off the rest of it.
No problem. I'll make sure that we get there as soon as possible.
Yeah, and he looks at you with that smile, that little smile he gives again that you don't never know how to take.
All right.
Yep, as your group prepares to leave that afternoon, it's not that far of a trip, of course, to get from Vicksburg to northeast of what's called the Walnut Hills area and Hayne's Bluff. But the weather starts to change. It's cold, very bitter cold, and the snow starts beginning to fall, very light snow, which sometimes can be very unusual for this area of the country. But, it's going to be a cold one, but hopefully Hayne's Bluff will have somewhere to put you up. Your movement to Haynes Bluff goes very smoothly, though, as you mount your horses, take your equipment, knowing the next few days until you get other orders that it's going to be pretty boring, you would think, as you're just watching for Union troop movement on the other side of the Yazoo River to move in and report back. As you enter the small town of Haynes Bluff, you notice most of the people, the townsfolk, looks like they're exiting a church there, and they're coming out. Sergeant Evans, of course, is leading you there, and he looks and notices some of the children coming out, knowing tomorrow is Christmas Day itself. Thinking about to himself if his children will laugh and smile and open presents. But you notice all the children seem to be very gloomy, very dull-looking expressions on their faces. And Sergeant Evans turns and looks at you and he goes, "Why does all these children look so gloomy? They should be joyous, you know. Tomorrow's Christmas. What do you think the matter is?"
Well, sir, I would reckon the effects of war take a toll on all, even the young and innocent of us all.
Well, it sure has taken a toll, and he looks towards Haskins.
Oh, what? What are you looking at me? I got 6 kids of my own. I'm not. You want me to get? I got maybe some sugar cubes here or something. I got nothing for them. I mean, I can't help it.
Well, I mean, what I'm saying, though, you got all those children. Don't they always joyous on Christmas Day? Ain't they looking forward to those presents?
Yeah, we're just waiting for Saint Nick to show up any time now.
He goes from the wry smile to a soft chuckle that he lets out. You see some of the townsfolk as they appear looking at y'all with different also expressions. Some of them give you smiles. Some of them have looks of concern, wondering what you're doing in their small town, as it's been relatively quiet here war-wise so far. But older gentleman approaches your group of 5. He says, welcome to Haynes Bluff. You just missed services. It was excellent there by the Reverend. Please, if you traveled long, we can offer food and drink. It's going to be a cold night, it looks like.
Well, that would be mighty fine of you, sir. I appreciate that. I'm all up for a good warm meal on a night like tonight.
Well, we have you fine boys to take care of us, you know, so the least we can do is give you meal and lodging. May I ask what you're doing here in Haynes Bluff? It's been pretty quiet here.
Oh, well, we're just sitting around. You know how things have been moving. Everybody's been shoot. I was up in Harbor Springs a few days ago, and now I'm back down in Vicksburg. Now I'm back up here again. Yeah, it's a crazy time, I'm telling you.
Yeah, the world is lost to us, but stay in the good book and go to church every chance you get. It'll solve everything.
That's right. And charity is number 1, I think. And kind of takes his head off and extends it. It would be a shame to not remember those less fortunate on a Christmas Eve as today. So I've got my own children I got to take care of, and you know, every little bit, sir, might help.
When you mention that about Christmas Eve and about all that, his look changes. He looks at you more sternly, and those meals will be ready soon. Just you see the house over there. Just come over there when you get your horses stabled. And he turns around and walks off.
I'm gonna shoot Jenkins a look of like, you know, shut the fuck up now.
Yeah, I'll put my hat back on and just kind of roll my eyes and kick on over to the side.
Excuse me. Y'all notice, like I say, a bunch of the townsfolk seem to be more leery and more maybe not as welcoming as some of them are, but some of them help you get your horses stabled, and and express that if y'all are not moving on before nightfall, that you can definitely stay in some of the houses there at Haynes Bluff. But you see some of the other townsfolk just give you the passing glance, or some of them almost leer at you with indifference as they don't even speak, and they seem to move on to their houses. And just to reiterate, you notice that all the children seem to be more of a gloomy type. They just don't seem to be very excited at all about the time of the season at this point.
Is it snowing around right now or anything?
Yeah, the light snow when you left Vicksburg, the light snow has continued throughout the afternoon. It's not really accumulated that deep, but the light snow has definitely kept on.
All right. I'm gonna pick up a is there enough snow that I could maybe form myself a snowball?
Exactly.
All right. I'm gonna form myself a snowball, and I'm gonna kind of look around, and if there's a kid around that kind of looks maybe a bit more, a bit more curious, or a bit more kind of brave than the others, I'm just gonna softball pitch this snowball at him.
Yeah, you see a young boy, probably about 11 or 12, that you throw it at, and you notice his look is still one of gloom, but maybe not quite as much as some of the younger children. But you throw the snowball, he puts his arm up to deflect it as it breaks and hits his arm. He turns back and looks at you and gives you just the smallest of a smile, and you see a lady run up to him and say something to him as they run off.
Fair enough.
You see one young girl that's probably about 5, 6, or 7 as she runs up to your group, and she looks at your group and goes, "Will you be here Christmas morning?"
Well, little lady, I believe that we'll be moving on, but before you all wake up to tomorrow. But we'll be here Christmas morning.
Oh, you. Well, some of us get up early. We have presents under the tree, and some of us sleep in.
Well, I hope that old Saint Nick brings you everything that you're wishing for on your list.
Well, the good kids, Saint Nick comes to see, but the bad kids, and you see just the look of almost fear and terror come on her face as she mentions the bad kids, and she says, "I've got to run home."
All right, you do that now. I'm just gonna kind of take note that she did that. I'll just keep it in my back pocket for now.
Oh yeah, you can definitely see the change in her expression when she went from talking about Saint Nick and the good kids to the bad kids. The older gentleman that greeted y'all, he comes back out with a couple of probably what you would know as the elders of the town, as you have your horses stabled and given fresh hay and water. He says, "Well, if y'all would like, it's going to be dark soon, and of course the children will have to go to bed early since tomorrow's Christmas morning, and you know what happens on Christmas Eve and Christmas morning, of course, but we'll be glad to feed and drink and give you lodging for the night."
Of course. Yes. Don't want to be awake when Santa shows up, or Krampus.
When you say that word, Krampus, you see the other two gentlemen with him just start slumping their shoulders, and they just start cringing And the gentleman who's been speaking to you goes, yes, 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 of course. Please follow me.
All right.
Say, I would like to apologize about my rudeness earlier. It's been pointed out to me that I was clearly outspoken of some things I shouldn't have said about your generosity and your charity.
Oh, no worries. You have much more stress on your plate than the stress that we have here.
I said, so why are your children so glum here? I mean, I ain't seen a smile on one, not a stitch.
We just ready for Christmas morning. Ready for Christmas morning and see the presents they get.
Well, I just saw one little itty bitty. She looked like she was scared about Christmas.
Well, I imagine seeing the looks of you with your arms and your weapons and your horses and things, soldiers moving in, that would scare about anybody, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I imagine so.
Maybe if they weren't used to seeing this kind of soldier.
Hey, tell me something, Calvary Jenkins.
See,
You ever heard the legend of Krampus?
Legend of Krampus?
Yeah.
No, I ain't heard any of that. It's just it's just like Santa Claus or this Saint Nick fella. Ain't nothing but a thing.
Yeah, well, Krampus is a little bit different. He's one of those old English legends, you know. They say that Krampus is the one that comes to take bad children away. That's terrible thing to him. That's the legend, of course. And while I'm saying this, I actually kind of want to study the reaction of the elders.
Yeah, you're saying it loud enough, telling it loud enough in front of all of them, correct?
Yeah.
Well, shit, he ain't never come and took my kids away.
Yeah, that's all just children's story.
So
you definitely, Thomas, you definitely see the oldest one that's been speaking to you mostly. He stays there. The other two gentlemen, when you start mentioning Krampus, they both excuse themselves and leave. And you see, look, appears that they're going to their houses. But the older man says, "Well, let's deal with the good things here. Please, please come in and have a hot meal. Let's think about the good things of such a lovely service we had today."
What was it on?
It was on charity. Charity.
See what I tell you. It's just a blessing to be here.
Mm-hmm. It's on charity. What verses did the good Reverend bring up?
He looks at you and he goes, "All the right ones."
Is that right?
So when I was talking about charity earlier, that wasn't as irritating to you as I might have thought it was.
No, our goal on this world is to try to show charity to all. The most famous thing that Jesus ever said was to show love to everyone, and we do our best.
Well, I would love for you to show love to me. He takes off his hat again, kind of offers it. He said, it is the time of the season to be charitable. And we have been running around a spell.
Well, let's make it to Christmas morning, and things will be better.
Sure.
I could use some hot coffee.
Yeah, that does sound pretty good.
As he's starting to take you into a house where you can smell the food cooking and the hot coffee, everybody roll a D6. If anybody gets a 1, let me know.
4.
4,
3.
6.
Yep, you're led on into the house then, where they have a tremendous amount of food that has been prepared. And you have a wonderful meal, hot coffee, whatever you want to drink. And you notice the elder of it has been speaking to you mostly. He stays with you, and of course, the ladies who are serving, they don't speak to you much. I mean, they bring you food and your refreshments and refill. Close to the end of the meal, the door opens, and in walks you would think a younger, but if you really notice it, he's probably more middle-aged. He's kind of like Sergeant Evans, more of a baby-faced, but he's wearing a suit with a priest collar as he walks in, and he goes, I finally had the church tidied up. See, we have some visitors. Gentlemen, where are you from?
I'm I'm personally all the way from Jackson, Mississippi.
Another Mississippian, man. That's good. What about the rest of you? Y'all don't look like Mississippians.
No, I'm from Savannah.
My good sir, I am a gentleman and a citizen of heaven from the great state of Texas.
A scholar of the good book too, then. That's wonderful. Do you carry it with you now?
I did, but it just so happened that it saved me one time on the battlefield.
The good Lord has plans for you, then.
Yes, I think so. Now, those plans don't happen to be more good fortune or charity coming my direction, do you think? I mean, I have quite a few mouths to feed back home.
Well, my fine man, let's make it through this night and see if charity is what we awake to.
Sounds ominous.
Sleeping in dry beats sleeping outside, at least.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Tis true. Once again, I have probably outspoken myself. And please forgive me if I happen to be too forward.
The clergyman looks toward you, Haskin, and he goes, "Oh, there's no need to. You know, we are all made of the human flesh. There was only one perfect human that ever walked this world, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. So continue to believe and study your book, and I'm sure you'll be forgiven on the days that you're called home."
Now, I know I'm forgiven. Now, you mentioned something about flesh. I was just wondering, is there any warm female flesh around to keep me warm tonight on this cold night?
Oh, you sinner. I thought I would advise you to read the chapters tonight and study them. And
Oh, no, nothing like that. Just to keep my bed warm. I wasn't, it was just, we could bundle a bit maybe. But I wasn't no fornication here.
Don't worry, Jenkins. I'll cuddle with you.
Oh, that's what I was looking for.
He's a cavalryman. He's used to sleeping with his horses.
That's what she said.
the clergyman turns and abruptly says, I must prepare for Christmas service. Gentlemen, have a good night, as he storms out the door.
I'm gonna take out a small case, and I'm just gonna say I have some cigars with me, if that's okay.
Oh yeah.
And I guess there's probably a lantern or something I can use to light my cigar.
Yep.
And as I do so, I'm gonna say, does anything seem off about this place to you, boys?
Besides no women or anything like that? Yeah.
Besides everyone being so gloomy.
Yeah, it certainly seems like that some of the children, especially, should be a little bit happier on Christmas Eve.
Here's the thing. I mentioned Krampus, and nearly everyone here just about shat themselves. It's a pretty out there legend. Like I said, it comes from England mostly. And I don't know too many folks around here that usually have heard of such a thing.
Well, I'm about as worried about that thing as I am being on Santa's naughty list.
I'm not necessarily worried about the legend. I'm worried about the fact that they all know about the legend. Or they seem to. Why else would they have flinched like they did when I brought it up? Not one person asked me what I was talking about. It's kind of weird.
I don't want to speak out of turn, sir, but I think they're upset because they said this was sweet potato pie and these are actually yams. I'll tell you that would make me pretty upset. Although I'll have another slice.
Yeah. Could be.
Well,
could be.
it is wartime, so I guess we can give them bad news.
Yeah, out of character. I don't have some of your names in chat. I have Jenkins in chat. I don't have anyone else. Could you guys put your names up for me?
Sure.
The old man that's been with you since the beginning, which you would probably think would be the oldest town elder, or maybe not the mayor or whatever. It's too small of a town to have a mayor, but he comes back out and he goes, "Well, a fine meal indeed, it would seem. You're more than welcome to bunk here and stay in this. This is well, the owner of this house. He left town last Christmas."
Will there be ghost stories tonight?
Oh no, we don't dwell on stories of legends and fairy tales. We look towards the good.
Well, will there be spirits of another kind? That's what I'm interested in.
You mean like Christmas past?
Yeah, like Brood in Christmas Past. Nobody has any soakins around here, right?
Well, I can probably bring you a bottle of a warm drink to help you sleep better.
That would be much appreciated, since obviously I don't have a bed warmer around here. Then I could certainly use a drink.
You see him exit and with the expression that he'll be back soon with what you need, and you notice all the women have left too prior to this. That you're now alone in this house that evidently is an extra house there in town that the owner reportedly is up and left.
I'm telling you boys, I don't have a good feeling about this place. I think we need to keep watch throughout the night.
Isn't that why we're here?
Normally, I'd agree that with hospitality, you don't need to worry too much, but I'm telling you, something feels off. Something just doesn't feel right.
I certainly, yeah, I'm willing to stand watch.
So you want us to watch the town? I thought we were supposed to watch the river.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, I mean, I shouldn't speak out of place, but that term, but I thought that's what we were here for, is to watch that's what I meant.
You're a jittery one, aren't you?
No, maybe.
Let's just keep watch. How's that?
Yeah. I don't see why we can't. I mean, if we're going to be up watching the river anyway, might as well watch the town while we're at it.
Well, I'm good with that. I mean, I know I am not the one who makes decisions around here.
You see the old man come back 15, 20 minutes later as he's got in his arm two whiskey bottles, and he brings them in and he hands both of them towards you, Haskin, and he says, well, this is going to be a cold one. The snow's not going to let up. It doesn't look like. Bid you a fair night. I'd probably keep the door locked, seems like some of you are bad boys. You don't want Krampus to come and get you.
You're a funny one. Hey, you want to have a drink with us?
Oh, I can't indulge in the spirits. The woman back home, she would call me the bad one.
Well, why don't you go get your woman and bring her over here too?
Oh, you boys have a good night. Like I say, I'd keep the door locked. But see you in the morning. It's Christmas, and we'll celebrate with presents for everyone.
Well, thank you kindly. I appreciate the generosity of this Christmas spirit.
Before we bunker down and everything, like, do we have plenty of firewood and stuff like that inside?
Oh yeah, I mean this has a fireplace, and there's definitely a large stock of wood to keep the warmth. All
right. What I would like to do is I'd like to take once he leaves and everything, and I shut the door. Is there like a stopper or something I could put in place?
Yeah, but before that happens, as he opens the door to leave and go to his house for the night, you all hear the sound out in the street somewhere, and you can definitely tell by the way the voice is talking that it's probably somebody that's fairly, of course, Haskins would know, but it's somebody that's probably fairly well into being inebriated, and all you hear is, "You get your ass to the house, boy! You don't want to be the bad one tonight." And it's not close. I mean, it's some distance, but with the cool, crisp air, you can hear the voice carry through as you hear what appears to probably be some drunken father yelling at a child.
Well, I think that's Krampus, sir.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like it.
So why don't everybody get their cup, and we'll have a little Christmas cheer on top of this before we start looking around.
Not too much. I don't want you guys to be too drunk on watch.
Oh,
Billy, I'm gonna let you take first watch.
Okay. I can have some. I mean, I can have some. I'm 18.
I don't see what being 18 has to do with anything.
Well, I'm a man.
Of course you are.
You're in the army. Of course you're a man. No one's questioning your manhood here. Calm down, boy.
Nope. I'm fully convinced that you can bleed and die like anyone else.
At that, Billy has a drink.
I'm gonna tap Jenkins and sort of lean in and say to him, give him a double. As I get up and check out the door, I want to lock it up and make sure it's locked securely.
Yeah, that door can definitely be secured pretty easily, and you think it would be pretty well set.
Another thing I'd like to do is take a few of the logs from the fire, from the fireplace logs, and if I can, I want to just set them up in front of the door, so if someone tried to open it, they'd hit a pile of logs, basically.
Yeah, you could do that if you wanted to, sure.
Okay, I'm extra paranoid, so I'm going to do that.
Is this a two-story building or a single-story?
It's a single story, but it's one of the larger buildings in town, as you would have noticed.
But there's a window, so I can keep watch out the window since the door is now locked.
Right. Oh yeah, you could definitely, if you wanted to have observance out the window, sure.
I was going to ask too. Do we have clear field of view, front and rear toward the river and back toward the town?
Exactly. Yeah, you would have a good overall view. Correct.
Okay. If y'all don't mind, might I suggest that a watch consists of 2 men instead of just one? That way we can keep an eye on the river and the town. I'll volunteer for first watch with Hawkins if that's all right with the rest of you.
Sounds good to me, soldier.
Well, it's fine with me.
All right, Billy. You keep your eyes open and try not to shit yourself, okay? I ain't kidding. Seriously, I've seen it.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Here, Billy, let me see your cup.
I
I pour him a good stiff one.
As the night begins, the snow's not let up. It's not got any heavier, but it's been a light snow falling all through the afternoon and the evening, and some of it's definitely starting to accumulate as the temperatures have dropped quite a bit. You've got your fire going. You got your watches set up. Billy, during your watch during the night, you hear a quick rap on the door. It's not loud. It's just enough, to get someone's attention as you hear footsteps run away.
Okay. Well, can I see out the window to see who it was or no?
You see a figure probably wearing like a heavy cloak or whatever. It's covered their head and their face. You can, of course, tell it's a human. But I mean, as far as man or woman or anything, they're gone before you can tell.
Ah. Okay. If I stick my head out the window, can I see the door?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see if they did anything to the door, like if they put a sign on there or something.
You see something laying at the foot of the door. It appears to be kind of rolled up, like maybe a piece of parchment or paper that's laying there in front of the doorway.
Oh boy. Sergeant Thomas.
Yeah, what?
Somebody put something on the doorstep.
What? Who in the what now?
It was a heavily. It could be a spy. I don't know.
What did they do, Sam? Did they just come up and? Is it like some holiday prank? Did they leave us a fruitcake? What is it?
I mean, I don't know. The door is blocked with logs. I don't know if I'm allowed to move them.
But you saw
Yeah, there's something on the doorstep right now.
But you can't tell what it is. You can't see the doorstep enough.
Can we move the logs?
Tell what it is. Is it a bundle? Is it a baby? Is it a bomb?
I'm gonna look closer. Can I see better if I take a minute to stare at it? Or
yeah, you can definitely tell it's a rolled up piece of paper. It seems to be tied off with some type of tie that it's rolled up.
I think it's the newspaper.
You think it's a paper?
It's paper and it's rolled up like the morning news.
We need to grab that, son. It might be somebody in the town trying to communicate with us. You know how everybody's been acting all out of sorts since we got here? It might be somebody who's wanting to tell us something that they're not willing to tell us.
Should I go out the window or should we move the logs?
We're not going to climb out the window, son. We got a perfectly good door right here. and with that, Thomas he grabs his infield and loads it as he hopes Hawkins is moving the logs. Son, we can't open the door with a pile of firewood right there.
Yeah, I'll move the logs while you're loading.
Yep, you move the logs and open the door, and you find what you saw as you reach in to grab it. It's a piece of paper that is rolled up with a tie off of it, and that someone has left there.
Okay, I'm going to snatch it up and look around.
I'm covering. Thomas is covering Hawkins from the open doorway.
Yeah, you don't hear anything or see anybody at all. It seems to be, besides the snow falling still, but seems to be in the middle of the night. It's dead quiet.
Okay, I'll snatch it up and bring it inside if nothing happens.
I can hear something. And even though it's cold outside, it's Hawkins is right there. He can tell Thomas is sweating and nervous.
Yeah, I get it back inside quickly and close the door.
Let's put the firewood back. Now let's put it back.
All right.
Officer's right.
I'll put the firewood back. I'll hand you the note first, though. And then I'll put the firewood back.
Make sure that door's locked too, as best we can.
Yeah. I'll secure the door. And I guess once it's secured, I'm going to go back to the window, I guess, to watch. Unless instructed otherwise.
So the paper, the parchment that's tied up, does it look like anything special? Is it something a sergeant in this man's army would just open on his own, or would he kick the officer awake?
Yeah, it doesn't have any type of a notation or insignia or anything that would indicate from anything from your command or anything at all. It just seems that it's just a rolled up piece of paper that someone has put there. It doesn't seem like anything that would be any type of military type paper at all.
Oh, okay. You know what? I don't know. I don't know if my character can read. Now that I think about it. Well, you know, he joined the Army young. Not sure how old he is. Didn't have much of a family growing up, so. Private.
Yeah. Yes, Sergeant.
You got your letters?
Yes, yes, Sergeant. A, B, C, E.
Can you put them together and tell what this says, son?
Oh, yeah, sure. I can.
I'll hand it over to Hawkins.
All right, I'll take it and go by the light of the fire or whatever we have to look at it, and I'll unroll.
You unroll it, and it's got a simple deal. You can tell it's a scripture from the Bible, from 1 John 3:8, and it's partially of the scripture, and it says, "The one who does what is sinful is of the devil, because the devil has been sinning from the beginning." And there it is also in the chat. That is all that is written on it. It's written in a very pretty handwriting.
What's it say, son?
I sniffed the paper first to see if it smells like girl.
Nope, you smell no perfumey or anything that would indicate either way.
Okay, so I read it. Looks like a Bible verse there, Sergeant. The one who does what is sinful is of the devil. Well, we know that because the devil has been sinning since the beginning. Mm-hmm.
Not more of this.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well, I guess Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. Of course, our horse soldier over there probably didn't help matters, but oh well. Lay it over there next to him.
All right, I'm gonna.
Obviously not directed at me.
I'd say not. Yes, I roll it back up and I put it next to our cavalry sergeant. Cavalry scout.
Out of character for a second, but I do love that profile photo that I found for I found for Thomas. That guy doesn't look like he's ever seen fun.
No, he looks like he's one of the children of his village.
He does. That's a good point. He's like, well, it was good enough for me, good enough for my dad, good enough for his dad, good enough for you.
And so I'll drop it off with Jenkins, and
then back to your post.
I'll go back to my post.
The rest of the night goes very quiet and peaceful, besides the soft fall of snow that keeps building up, and the temperature drops and drops as it gets much colder. The morning sun is starting to come up. Who would be on watch when the morning sun comes up?
It should be the other two. It should be Jacobs and
should
Jenkins,
be.
Right? Well, I don't know. Unless Jenkins
Emphasis on should be.
Unless the whiskey was sitting on it too hard. And it might just be the officer. I don't know.
No, Haskins will be up. Jenkins will be up.
Yeah, as you're up, Haskins, as the morning sun starts coming up, even though it's not warming up, of course. But you hear a yell out in the street, and then you hear the voice you would have recognized last night from the man who was intoxicated, but seems, of course, he's sobered up quite a bit as you hear him yelling at someone else, and he goes, I told the boy to get home. I told him. It ain't fair. It's supposed to be just one of them, not more than one of them. What are we going to do?
Sorry, I think I missed something. Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I can hear you now.
Okay. I don't know. I think for some reason you guys were like, because like you were going robot-y, and then like when I heard you say something to me, I tried to speak, but I don't know. Like it wasn't coming through.
Oh.
So, and I think I was like stuck in the past for a minute there.
Did you hear the point about the note that Billy and them found? Did you hear that
Yeah,
part?
I heard all that, and then like it started like I heard he put it with the cavalry,
Okay.
and then it started going robot-y, and then I heard morning comes, who's awake, and then I was like, well, then we'll be awake.
Right.
And I was going to say, how does the cavalry react when he sees this like letter next to him?
Yeah,
But
we
no
didn't.
one heard
We
me.
didn't hear that. That was where you must have dropped.
Yeah, must be. Like I said, I think I was like in the past there for a second.
Yeah, did you hear the part about somebody screaming and yelling in the street? Did you hear that part, or?
Just now? Yeah, I think so. The sub
Okay.
guy?
Yeah. Yeah, you just missed a very little part, man.
Okay.
But yeah, Haskins hears this guy, which you would probably also recognize as the inebriated gentleman from last night. It's sobered up as he yelled that out to somebody else out further down the street somewhere.
Someone's out there caterwauling about his kid.
Yeah, someone's out there caterwalking about. There was only supposed to be one of them. Come on, boys, let's figure out what's going on here.
Oh, and which one of you gifted me with this wonderful scripture? I shall keep this close to my heart, you motherfuckers.
It came as a late night delivery. Private found it on the doorstep.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you kindly that you thought it was directed to me.
I figured you'd want to have it framed.
Maybe I shall.
What's really weird is this isn't written with the King James version. We all know that's the only true version of the Bible.
So, yes. So what are we going to do about this caterwauling fella?
Well, let's go talk to him and see what's going on. How's that?
Yeah, you all just keep your guns close at hand.
Guns.
Yeah. Here. We call this a gun where I come from, and I hand him half the bottle.
Billy, are you going to move all the firewood from the front of the door again?
Yeah, I will clear the door of firewood. Wipe the sleep from my eyes.
Yeah, as you four wake up and you wake up Sergeant Evans as you all move out in the street, you see a small group of people. You see the man that seems to be upset and yelling that you've not seen before. He's a very short, rough-looking man, probably a farmer or something, but you can definitely tell that he's stays himself into the bottles. It's definitely taken effect on his health, but he seems to be yelling and talking loudly towards the old man that is taken to y'all and giving you the rest and comfort so far. And you see the old man reach out and touch his shoulder and say something to him very low, and he throws the old man's arm off and he goes, "It's only supposed to be one of them, though. This ain't right."
Only supposed to be one what, sir?
They see y'all approach. The old man that has helped you all in the town, he turns and looks and goes, nothing for you to worry about.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing. There's only supposed to be one what, sir?
You see the older man that's the rough-looking guy, and he goes, It's none of your business, but I'm going to tell you anyway because somebody's got to know. You see the older man that goes, oh, don't get them involved in this. We've made it all these years without any outside trouble. We don't need them involved in anything. It's our business. Y'all tend to taking care of them boys in blue.
Whatever the problem is because you haven't had anyone else involved. Now spit it out.
The rough-looking guy looks at you, and he smiles, and he goes, the old man in the swamp, he takes one bad child a year from us, but this year he's taking more than one. It ain't right.
Where does this man live at?
He lives out in the swamps there, at the swamps out there around the river.
The swamps, is that as specific as you can get?
Oh, I ain't never been to his house. He comes during the night, and we've had a deal with him. He takes one kid who's been bad, and but it ain't right. He took my boy because he was out too late last night. He took Jenny's daughter. That's two I know that's missing so far. And at that point, you hear another woman start screaming out of a house down the street.
And you men have just been letting this guy take your kids for how many years now?
The older stern man looks towards you and goes, I told you it ain't none of your business.
Look, I'm about 3 seconds away from kicking your ass, so you might want to answer my questions. How many years has this been going on?
Sergeant Evans walks up to you and he goes, sir, I don't think I would attack a citizen. They'll hang you for that. I think we do need to find out what's going on, but I wouldn't go that far. Not quite yet.
Well, you know what? I don't pay anyone to think. And if I did pay someone to think, it most certainly wouldn't be you. Now, I want some answers. I want my questions answered. How long has this been going on?
The rough-looking man looks back toward you and he goes, too many years to count.
Yeah, I've just got, I've got this like pissed expression on my face now. I mean, I'm going to walk away for a bit because if I don't, I'm going to end up kicking someone's ass.
So let me get this straight. You guys just take children? Is that what you're saying?
The old man in the swamp. It's the old man in the swamp. He's come here for years, and he takes one bad kid a year. And this year it's not right though. He's taking, and you see the woman that you hear her scream from the house. You see her running out. She's gone. They took her too. She's gone. And she falls down in the middle of the street, just crying and just boiling tears out of her.
He takes them for what? To be an apprentice?
Private, go see what's wrong with that woman.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sergeant. So I'll run over and see what's wrong with the woman.
So here's my question to you, good townspeople. How come not a one of you have ever put that fella on the ground with 3 or 4 holes in him? Huh? The old man in the swamp.
Well, I'm thinking it sounds like a good idea to me. I mean, getting rid of your bad kids every once in a while.
How bad's a bad kid? If we got rid of all the bad kids, we wouldn't have nearly as many people as we got in this army right now.
That's true.
The rough-looking guy, he looks towards you as you say that, Jack, and he goes, well, I don't think bullets is going to stop the man.
What makes you say bullets can't stop a man? I've seen them stop many a man.
Too many men.
Just take it as a forewarning. The devil walks among the flock as a man, but he's not a man.
Oh, now you're talking crazy. You got a devil that walks among you?
Well, if it's the devil, maybe we need like a priest. I say, then go back to the woman I'm supposed to be helping.
Yeah, and to jump to that as the woman in the street, as you approach her, she's just tears are just boiling and rolling down her face. And she looks towards you and grabs your arm, Billy, and she says, "Please, you've got my daughter was good. She didn't do anything wrong. They took her too."
Ma'am, who took her?
The old man who's only supposed to take one of our children.
Hold
The
on.
bad one.
He has girls for apprentices as well? That's weird. I'll up her up, and I'll say, let's get you some water. And I look for the well or whatever you get water from around. And not seeing it, I give her a shot. I give her the whiskey that he gave me.
She takes a shot.
I put it into a cup. So I give her like a swig.
Cool, clear water.
The rough-looking farmer fellow looks towards all of you and he goes, "You better send for help if you're going after those. You're going to need everything you can take out there."
Well, I thank you for your advice, but any man that would sacrifice his child is a coward who isn't worth paying attention to. Boys, get your muskets ready. We're going out to find this man. There's going to be a hanging tonight, I can assure you of that.
Oh, with all due respect, sir, aren't we supposed to be watching the river right about now?
Well, then are you going to allow this man to continue to do the same thing? Is that river as important as these children that this man could be doing who knows what to?
Well, what's a couple children when it comes down to a few thousand men?
If the townsfolk could keep an eye on the river, we could go check on the old man in the swamp.
Your Sergeant Jordan Evans, the young one that's standing there, has been. He says, "This has got to be reported back to the major at Vicksburg. I'll ride as fast as I can. I'll bring more men." And you see him start towards the stable as he appears to be going back to Vicksburg to report in.
Does it seem like he's is he acting even more unusual than he usually does?
Your sergeant?
Yeah, the sergeant who's now going back to.
Oh no,
Vicksburg.
no! You can tell he's straight militaristic. Kid, he's doing exactly what he thinks it should be done. Yeah, he's acting normal.
Okay.
All right, you heard him. He's going to go get more men for this bridge. So, best we can do is ask the town folks to keep an eye on it, and we'll go rescue their children. I can't just let these children just stay with this crate.
Well, you don't know anything about this guy.
It sounds like some sort of obvious Union terror tactic. They're trying to scare the locals into not supporting their rightful garrisons. That's obviously what's going on.
Yeah.
We need to go out there and we find this guy and we could either have a hanging in the morning or, leave him where he goes.
I agree.
Okay. Let me get the horses ready for everybody. So I'm going to go get the horses.
Yeah, as you say that, Billy, about the horses, the rough-looking farmer guy says, "Well, I can take you out to where the bayou starts, but after you start out through that, them horses ain't gonna be no good out there. They're gonna sink down up to their forelegs, and you're gonna be stuck. You're gonna have to walk on foot. But I'll take you out there to the start of the bayou."
How long will it take us to get out there on foot?
If I don't walk as good as I used to, but you boys are in good shape. I think about 15 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, good. In that case, we definitely shouldn't take the horse with us.
Okay. You people look after our horses, and you look after that bridge.
Sir, should I take this firewood? Are we going to need this?
Yeah. Go ahead, Hawkins. Take that firewood with us.
Jack's going to talk to the old veteran townsman there and say, look, if you see anything that shouldn't be on this river, you got a couple of firearms in this town, don't you?
Yeah, I ain't shot it in years, though.
Well,
never has been a threat here.
Yours or somebody else's, whether it's a shotgun or an old single shot, whatever. Somebody put a couple rounds up in the air to let us know that something's going on at this river. You understand?
Yeah, I can do that, sir.
We're not asking you to engage the Union Army. We're just saying, let us know.
Okay? I can do that.
All right.
The old farmer who formally introduces him as Jacob. They call me Jacob. I admit I ain't much of a man with courage, but I'll take you out there. Let's get going, because it ain't right. They took my boy. I know he was out late, but he took more than one. It ain't right. It just ain't right.
It ain't right that he took even one. But he's going to be in his crime soon enough.
Well, I don't know. I mean, if that's the deal.
The Lord can forgive you, and you have to answer for yours.
I mean, I don't know if that's the deal they had, sir. I mean, that seems pretty legit.
Jacob walks over towards you, Haskett, and he goes, "You got anything to drink? I need a swig before we get out there."
Something to drink? He said, "You got to be sober-minded, my dear friend. And why would you come to me looking for something to drink?"
He followed his nose.
I ain't going out in them swamps. I ain't got no courage, I told you.
Well, I'm not going to give you any liquid courage either, then.
We had like a half a bottle left, right?
Yes.
Why don't we hang on to that? Never can tell. We might need an antiseptic.
Yeah, we're gonna need that. We're gonna need to keep that as an antiseptic.
I think.
That being said, if you want your child back, you're gonna have to take us out to them swamps.
Well, I'm gonna take you out there to where the starts at, but I can't go in them swamps. Y'all got the training.
Show us. Come on, let's go.
All righty then. He starts leading you out, pretty much kind of northwest of Hayne's Bluff, and it doesn't take like 15, 20 minutes to get to around the river where the inlets and stuff are starting to come in. And sure enough, the ground, even though the snow's falling and covering most of the ground starts turning mushy and wet and more of a swampy bayou area. He says, "The old man, I know he goes out in them swamps. I followed him one time just to see where he went, and that's where he goes, but I ain't got no courage to go out there."
Do we have a tracker here? Can anyone see if they can find some prints?
Wouldn't that be within the cavalry scouts?
Yes, it would.
Yeah, I could go looking for tracks. When I start searching around, it's a 2.
Yep, you find something then. You start finding some tracks that are very recent. Even though the snow's let up quite a bit, but it's still enough to keep covering the ground. But you find some tracks, and you notice that there are a bunch of mixture of definitely human tracks and smaller feet size and, of children size, or maybe somebody smaller framed. But also roll me another D6 for...
That's a 2.
Yeah, you start looking at these tracks, and you probably figure there's probably at least 3, 4, maybe 5 different sets of tracks. But for just a moment, you see an inset of tracks that appear to be some type of animal, too. An animal track that is following and leading into the swamps with these human tracks.
What kind of animal does it appear to be?
It appears to be some type of... animal paw, maybe a smaller animal, maybe something, maybe a goat or something. You think at a quick glance.
It appears the children and this old man have taken a goat with them.
Oh man, we could make goat cheese. It's delicious.
Or we could just eat a goat. We're not going to keep a goat to make cheese with in 6 weeks.
Maybe you better give me that bottle back.
Hey, Tony.
Yes.
I did a roll to see if I would know anything about like goats being attributed to Satan, and I got a 3. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, let me look real quick. Excuse me.
I figure I'm supposed to be able to have like lore and be able to get lore and stuff, right?
And
I have a
from the local, yeah.
I have a 17 intelligence, so
Yeah, and you're wanting, what is it you're wanting to know exactly? Your question?
I just want to know if it's okay for my character to know that like goats or hooven creatures are sometimes associated with Satan and Satanism.
Yeah, would that be considered pertinent information, pertinent local information, as under his class skill?
Yeah, I mean, not exactly under that, but I will give it to you that you would definitely, with that high of intelligence, you would probably maybe read it in some scripture or read it or heard it from one of the religious practices that has been known before. Yes.
All right, so I'll say goat, huh? Well, I've heard that Satanism and Satan is sometimes depicted as a goat. So this old man could definitely be doing some kind of weird witchcraft out here for sure. Some kind of Satanistic rituals.
Well, I don't know if I'd want to eat Satan.
Oh, God. Look, keep your infield ready and just put a round or 2 in him if you see him, okay?
I mean, I have this bundle of wood.
That's a great idea. If he throws fire at you, you can block it with the wood.
Sir, I don't know that it's a good idea to keep encouraging him with this.
Yeah, what's all this with this Satanism and crap? Oh, we're just missing kids.
Billy, drop the firewood and get the rifle ready.
Yeah, Billy, go ahead. Just put the firewood down.
Okay. I'll put it here if you need it. So I stacked the firewood neatly.
Good.
Great.
Jacob looks towards Harvey. He gives, good luck. Bring my boy back now, please.
Oh, it's your boy and you're not going to come out?
I ain't got no courage, not even with the liquor.
That seems rather disappointing.
I got to get back to town now.
Okay. When you get back, remember, keep an eye on the river. If you see anything, put a couple rounds in the air.
Well, I got to have a drink first, and then I'll go to the river, okay?
All right, let's go, boys.
Haskins, you're able to follow these tracks out into the bayou swampy area for quite some ways, and as you do, I mean they're very easy to follow, even with the falling snow that's covering some of them. And you still notice that mixture of it appears to be a bunch of human small footprints, and then you see animal tracks mixed in, and it's all human and just a mixture of them all. But roll me another one of your skill deals, 3 out of 6.
Out to 6.
Yep, you're intent on following these tracks and stuff, as you're doing a good job at it.
I want to bring up right now that in case he hadn't already, Jack is fitting his bayonet on his infield. Oh well, assuming that the swamp is it like an open marsh, or is it with trees and kind of enclosed?
It's pretty open, the area you're in right now. I mean, it's pretty more open than it is enclosed.
And what time are we, after dark yet or not?
Oh no, I would say probably the time y'all started out there after this, it's early. It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, excellent. Okay, good. In that case, I will not fix my bayonet yet. If it's open and it's still daylight, I'm good.
Yep, it is Christmas Day, about 9 a.m. or roughly so far. The snow is let up pretty much. I mean, there's a few flakes falling, and yeah, you've got plenty of sunlight coming through.
How you want to proceed, sir?
Yeah. Well, we've lost our bearings here.
No. Just to clarify, Crystal, he's actually the trail he's following. That was for something else that maybe he could have found, but it has eluded you at this point. But yeah, he's still got the trail pretty much.
No, okay, all right. Well, let's keep up the trail. Let's spread out a little bit so we won't be caught together.
Good idea. Private, why don't you bring up the rear?
Yeah, I guess that puts me out front again.
We'll try not to hold it against you.
Yeah, it's hard to do nowadays.
Y'all follow the trail. Haskins, you're able to follow it probably, you would figure a good 20 or 30 more minutes as y'all go deeper into the bayou area along the Yazoo River. And everybody can roll me a D6. If you, let's see, Haskins, if you get a 3 out of 6, everybody else will have a 2 in 6 chance.
Well, I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1 as well. I'm shocked.
I rolled a 2 again.
All right. How about Thomas?
I rolled a 3.
Yep, you don't find it as your lady on men, but the other 3, y'all start noticing the some of the strubbage, and you start noticing there are more as you go further in. There are some more tree coverage. I mean, it's still where you can see good enough, but you notice on some of the trees and the strubbage, what leaves are left on some of them are like a dark, bright red.
Oh, look. It's like Christmas. We have green and red trees.
Red trees.
Well, leaves. The leaves are red, right?
Yep, the leaves are like a dark red.
I'm going to start to pull some down so I can maybe have to start like make a wreath later. So
yeah, and also with rolling a 1, you would know, not being from this area, but what little you would know about trees is it's very unusual for these leaves to be such dark red. It strikes you, it's beautiful. They're beautiful, but it strikes you as odd.
Yeah, I was going to say. So Jenkins, have you seen anything like this?
Anything like this before?
Yeah.
No, I ain't seen nothing like this.
Yeah, this ain't like autumn splendor. This is a much deeper red.
I guess I'm not that kind of learned man.
You'd think that by this point in the year, this late, color would be gone and everything would be crinkly and brown by now.
I would think so.
Crinkly and brown. To me. These trees should be bare naked by now. Shouldn't have any leaves on them.
I'm just going to pull some leaves off.
Yep, and you do, and there's touching them or whatever, smelling them, nothing seems odd about them. They're just the dark, vibrant red.
Nice. All right, let's look at my wreath. I start whistling Christmas songs.
Cut that noise out, Billy.
How loud are you going to sing?
I'm not singing, I'm whistling.
Yeah,
oh, whistling.
I tell him to cut it out. Because if he starts whistling, I'm going to tell him, Billy, cut that out.
Sorry. I then start humming.
Billy,
not particularly loud.
God, you don't want me to put a bullet in your head? You will shut the fuck up right now.
What?
Billy, son, we're out here in this swamp on Christmas Day trying to find an old man who keeps stealing children, and he has a goat. That's what we're doing. Do you think whistling as we're walking toward this potential enemy force, do you think whistling is a good idea? Or do you think maybe you should listen to the officer and shut your idiot pie hole?
Well, I mean, it's fine.
It's B. It's B, son. It's the second answer. Stop whistling. Sorry for the outburst.
I'll just kind of nod, and then I'll give the kind of signal to keep moving forward.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Haskins just kind of shakes his head at the young kid and continues on.
At that, I'm going to drink more of the whiskey because I feel a little bit depressed.
That's our med kit, son. Don't drink all the medical kit.
It's getting cold. I was just interested.
It's not getting cold. It's getting warmer. If anything, it's we're getting up into the day a little bit. It might warm up a degree or two. Okay, please stop.
I'm gonna take the whiskey from Billy, and I'm just gonna put it in my coat.
All right.
Mind your rifle, son, and don't shoot me.
I'll do
In fact, Hawkins,
two options.
how about you take
I'll
point?
take option one.
Hawkins, how about you take point for us?
No, don't. Sir, listen. Don't put the idiot on point.
You know what? That's a good point. Billy.
Tell you what, sir, I can bring up the rear. Put the private between yourself and Haskin as he scouts. Does that work?
Works for me. Let's do that.
All right. I'll bring up the rear.
You travel on probably another 15, 20 minutes following the trail. It's pretty easy. And as you do, you continue to see the off-color leaves on some of the trees. And like I say, the trees are getting more frequent now as you're going further in along this area. Large old cypress trees and oak trees. But as Thomas said, the majority of them should have shed their leaves, of course, by Christmas. Of course, in certain areas they don't, but you would think most of them would have shed the majority of their leaves, but they're all this vibrant, beautiful red. But everybody roll me a D6 again, and I don't think anybody will have anything special for this, so just if anybody gets a 1 or a 2.
I got a 1.
I got a 5.
4.
Yep, Haskin,
5.
you would know for sure then, Haskin, it's smelling the scent of where you're from and probably having to use it for fuel before you start smelling a off scent of burnt coal.
Shit. Well, whoever this old guy is, he's got coal.
Is that right?
Can you smell it?
That.
What is it? Is that greasy, oily smell? Kind of bites your nose a bit when it burns.
My senses must be off today. I don't know. Must have got that Christmas cold coming on. I can't smell a damn thing out here right now.
Maybe it's that whiskey.
Well,
I'm so happy we got this kid with us because he keeps saying things I don't need to say.
Can you lead us out to the to this coal? Can you tell where it's coming from?
Yeah, I could figure that out.
Does it seem to be following the basic track of the footprints you've been following?
I don't know. It's a smell I just picked up.
Does it seem like it's coming from the same direction as where the footprints lead up?
Yep, you would know that, Haskin. It definitely seems to be coming from an area you're traveling.
Yeah, I think we're walking right into it. I think he's walking right into it.
All right, close enough to smell his coal fumes. Maybe we should consider spreading out a little bit, trying to surround him.
Or maybe it's the sulfurous fumes from our satanic goat.
Oh, shut up. Listen, is it, can we, as you talk about the cypress trees and stuff, Tony, do we have much field of view? I mean, are long arms still practical in this terrain?
Oh, yeah. These are very large, high-limbed trees, most of them in this area, yeah.
Okay.
I will press on.
You press on for another 5 minutes as that smell starts, getting back more in your nostrils. And after Haskins has described it, the rest of you, as y'all move 5 or 10 minutes along, you can start picking up the faint smell of the burnt coal. And Haskins, are you staying a little bit ahead of the rest of them or not?
Yeah.
How far would you think?
Probably a good 50, 60 yards ahead.
All right, perfect. Yeah, as you're moving along, and that smell is really permeating through your nose and your senses. You come into an area, and the first thing you notice about it is all the trees are not quite as large as some of the trees you come through. They're more low-limb trees, but there's like a whole big circle of these fully leaved trees that are just red. These beautiful, vibrant red leaves on them. But you also notice appears to be like a small cabin, a wooden cabin that you notice over there, and the door's closed, but you see on the side of it appears to be some type of wooden, you think at first maybe a crate or something, but it's actually appears to be like this wooden cage or something. You notice 2 children in it.
I will quickly wave them down and kind of signal a stop, and I'll work my way back to them. Go, hey, there's a cabin up there, and he's got kids in a cage.
Sick fucking pervert.
They seem
all right.
I ain't seen
Billy,
anybody else around there. Just a couple of kids in the cage.
Yeah, Billy, I'm sure they're having a magical time locked in a cage in the middle of winter. All right, look, let's try and get this old man's attention. Try and lead him away from the house and the kids if we can. Don't want him taking hostages or anything like that.
So, do you want me to make a diversion? Is that what you're saying, sir?
Well, how are we going to do it? How do you think we can lure him out? Maybe throw something at the side of his house?
Or we could send Billy in with his whistling.
I don't know. That might spook him. That might spook him and put him into threat mode. I mean, just think about if you saw this guy coming towards you, whistling. Not a good idea.
So, what would you suggest, sir?
Do you see any windows? Did you see any windows around this cabin or anything?
Yeah, you would have noticed the front of the cabin. The front of it was facing towards you. You would have noticed there was a couple of wooden shuttered windows that were closed.
Yeah, there's a couple there.
Maybe we can just take some a couple of big rocks if we can find them, or some halfway decent sticks, and just chuck them at those windows or at his door. Figure if we chuck something hard enough, he'll want to come out to investigate what it is, right?
Why don't I just walk up there
you guys
and knock
pick
on
him
the
out.
door?
Well, we don't want to see him. We don't want him to see us coming, right?
I
Pick one of us.
the strong military mind that you all have, but if the children are in front of the house and we stand and we make him walk out to the front of the house, isn't he going to be where the children are?
Out of character. I thought he said the children were on the side of the house.
Yeah, the cage deal that he saw was right on the side of the house, probably
The side. Oh, I thought
15, about 15, 20 foot from the front door.
yeah, it's so close to the front door, 15 foot.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right. I'll try and sneak over to the cages. I'll try and sneak through the wood lines and get directly to the cages. And then one of you guys can, Billy, you can go up and you can knock on the door for us. And you can politely inform him that he is under arrest.
And I'll be more than happy to have a bead right smack in the middle of that door frame too. Just in case he does anything that you stand to the side, Billy. You knock and stand to the side. When the door opens, if he does anything he ought not to, we got it.
And any of you fellows good at shooting from some distance away? We can leave someone back here to shoot downfield if need be.
I'm
Pretty sure
willing
we
to.
just said.
I'm willing to go up with Billy or.
I can stay back. I mean, I'd rather be in the middle of it if we're going to do anything. But
out of character for a
that,
moment. Yeah, I'm actually a melee specialist, so maybe
Yeah.
I should go up to the door. What's Billy's specialty? Is he melee or ranged?
No, I'm melee, but I have a dex too, so I'm got the same. I'm equal in both basically.
Oh, okay. I don't have a dex bonus. So
I would think just thinking realistically, I would think cavalry, would actually be a good range unit. Because I mean they would typically shoot from their horses and everything,
Right. I was thinking in this environment he would be able to. He certainly wouldn't be at a disadvantage from this range, would he, Tony?
no,
No, not at all.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'd be happy to go up to the door. Jack's willing to go up to the door with Billy. And Haskin can cover us from afar.
You guys just wait for me to get to that cage first. I only have a few pistols and a saber with me, so
okay,
that's going to be the best place I'm going to be at.
Do you want to signal us when you think we should make for the cabin door?
Yeah, I'll signal you.
Okay.
Can I have Tony? Can I have like a mirror or something on me?
Yeah, like a hand mirror? Sure.
Yeah. All right, so I'll take a hand mirror out and I'll just kind of shine it on the sun, just kind of on your chest, so you'll get the picture of how I'm going to signal you.
Keep an eye out for it. I turn to Billy and say, "It's not that hard. Even you can figure this one out, son. just watch. You see when it's bright, you know to go."
So I'm gonna sneak up around the wood line as much I can till I get to where I'm basically directly in front of the cages, and then I'm gonna crouch down and move in as quickly as I can towards the cages. And as I get to the cages, I'll just kind of put my hand up to gesture to the kids to be quiet.
All right, Thomas. Yep. Thomas is going to try to sneak around the wood line to get to the cages. Jack and Billy is going to the front door to make contact, and Haskin, you're staying back with your rifle leveled.
Yep.
All right, as we prepare to see what happens, now let's take us a quick bio break and come back, and we'll go from there.
Okey-doke.
All right.
Enough.
All right, I'm back.
I'm back.
Yep, I'm here also.
I am as well.
All righty. There's Haskin. And Billy done fled on y'all probably.
I was reading this thing earlier today that was talking about like our modern like firearms and stuff, and it basically was talking about like some of the reasons post-apocalyptic stuff is a little bit unrealistic, and it was talking about how like the guns we have today are all like machine drilled and stuff like that, like they pretty much require electricity to be able to be built.
Right.
So,
To be manufactured the way they're manufactured now requires modern manufacturing. Right.
yeah. So like they were talking about that, and then they were talking about like a more like, so it got me thinking like it'd be kind of cool to have like a post-apocalyptic game where it's been like a few generations since they've had like automatic firearms and stuff like that, you know?
Right,
And
but they
have,
still
like,
know how to. They still know how to make powder and stuff, though.
Yeah,
they haven't
so they
lost
still
that
have,
knowledge, right?
yeah. So they would have like basically rifled muskets and stuff like that, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I agree. It would be interesting to have one.
Yeah,
Primitive, more of a primitive.
Right, except they'd be better than they were when they were initially primitive, because we were like, no. We can still, even if we have to do it by hand or by treadle power or whatever, we still know that it's more important to do certain precision functions properly. Like, no, it needs this many twists per inch to get the maximum spin on this projectile out of this length of barrel. You know, we would know things like that better than we knew it then, just because the basic science is
right.
Yeah.
Right. But it'd be very interesting.
You also have to think that like if all of if electricity and stuff just suddenly went down, we didn't have it anymore, you know, we would be stuck to just relying on, you know, physical books. You know, we wouldn't have internet anymore. So like it's one of the things of like how much in like while people who actually make guns, of course, are going to know that kind of stuff, they're going to need to like record it really quickly, or they're going to have to like get their books, you know, secured pretty quickly, you know. I mean, I still agree we would still be able to make better firearms, but
yeah, the knowledge. Yeah, suddenly we would go from having, you know, this worldwide network of blah, you know, that we're all on right now, to not. You know, I mean, that's a good point. I like to think about my book collection and how wonderful it is. And there's a lot of basic how-to stuff in there, but still there's a lot of them that I have that aren't here. They're at a different house, or they're in a different place, or they're stored, what, you know, if suddenly that got way more difficult to overcome, what up with that? You know, how would you adapt to it? Yeah, exactly.
You'll have to run us a game, Crystal, and post a pot with that type of weaponry.
Yeah. And I think also, like, you know, I think there would be like bows and stuff. Like, I could imagine people using bows or crossbows, but I mean, you got to think they would still be better because I mean, we would still have some tools that could last for a while, like rubber. If it's stored correctly and everything, rubber can last for a long time, and rubber in some instances can be better than like, you know, cords and stuff as far as like being able to do certain pulley actions and stuff like that, like on a crossbow.
Well, and think too about stuff like fiberglass that we would run out of, like the mass-produced fiberglass Bondo and stuff like that we have now. But we know what it is, so let's come up with an organic solution that we can grow. There's a plant that'll let us do this, or this combination of mud and clay and used motor oil equals this substitute. You know, that would be an interesting angle as well.
Yeah.
All right, we jump from the year 2262 back to 1862. As our plan is to rescue the children, Jack and Billy. You start your way towards the door, and the door and the windows are still shuttered and closed. You see the two kids in the cage. They don't appear to have noticed y'all yet. You know, they're still wearing their clothing and stuff. I mean, they're shivering and shuddering because it's, you know, cold and snowy and icy and all that. But
oh man, I wish I had brought that firewood. We could have lit a fire to keep the kids warm.
Thomas, you're moving along the edge of the woods. These beautiful, vibrant, dark red leaves on these trees as you're moving along. And you are surprised as you're moving along, keeping your eye on the cage and watching these kids, maybe trying to get their attention somewhat. But as you're able to hear all of a sudden, whoosh, like you think it's snow falling off one of the boughs of these trees, but it's actually one of these red-leaved limbs reaches out and grabs you and does 5 points of damage to you. It just wraps you up and pierces inside of you, and it's got you grappled at this point.
Awesome.
Yep. Let's see. Haskin, you're watching, observing the field. Roll me a D6. Let me see. I don't think you'd have anything to bump you up. Let me look.
It's a magical 2 again.
Well, it don't matter. I mean, it works anyway. You see this transpire to Thomas as he's moving along, trying to move towards the caged children. You see this tree limb just reach out and I just poof hit him and grab him. I mean, you know, if there's anything you would like to do at this point or not.
I will yell, the trees are alive. Trees are alive!
With the sound of music.
Well, so from where Jack and Billy are waiting to go to the cabin door, can we see Jenkins and Jake? Well, Jenkins is probably behind us. Can we see Jacobs?
Yeah, I'm going to say when this happened, you were about halfway to the destination, the front door. Everybody was about halfway around. If Haskins yells out and, you know, you turn and observe, you could see now Thomas yourself as he's been grappled up by this large tree and these leaves.
Can we tell from Haskins' shout of alarm? Can we tell anything about anything happened at the cabin?
You broke up. You broke up for me just at the end. Can you tell anything about what now?
Sorry. Can we tell anything about the cabin? Is the door still closed?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The door. Yeah, it's still closed, and the windows are still closed, shuttered. Yeah, you don't see any noise coming from the cabin right now.
What about the children in the cage?
Yeah, Haskin yelling out. They both turn, and they would probably see you two first, you and Billy, and you just see a look of nothing but fright and fear on their faces, and they don't say anything, but they're looking straight towards you two.
Okay, I'll hold my finger up to my lips and the universal sound of "keep your pie hole shut."
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up and knock on the door.
You continue with his cabin, okay? What about are you going with him?
Well, the officer.
Yeah, I was
Jacobs
supposed to signal them.
is in a tree. We're not supposed to be moving yet. So if Billy started moving, I'll try to grab him. Psst, Billy, we're not supposed to. He didn't signal us yet. And plus, there's a tree trying to eat him because we saw the tree try to eat.
Oh, we did see that. Sorry, that part cut off. I didn't know we saw it. Oh, if I saw the tree eating the officer, I'm going to shoot the tree.
Okay.
Wait, maybe don't shoot the tree.
I mean, what I'm going to do is, well, I already did it. So I'm going to try to shoot the branch, the specific branch that's holding the officer. I'm going to try to shoot him free.
I'm going to.
Here I come, Jesus.
Thomas, I'm running toward the tree to try to get closer.
Yeah, I'll start with you, Billy. You're shooting with your musket then. If you're wanting to shoot that exact branch, take a -2 to hit if you're trying to hit that exact.
Doing it exact branch. Here we go. Boom, 18 on the die.
Oh yeah, I mean, even with the minuses, that's going to hit it.
Yep. Oh. So I shoot that thing for 5 plus 2 points of damage, so 7 points of damage.
You see it raise Thomas up probably about 5-6 foot off the ground, but between the time all this occurred, and as you hit the branch, you see the branch start falling towards the ground with Thomas also. Thomas, you'll fall to the ground, but you'll take no damage. You are been relieved of the grapples of this tree.
Do I notice that it was Billy that freed me?
You can either judge that yourself or roll a d6, and I'll tell you.
I'll roll a d6. Let's see.
I may have yelled "Yeehaw."
A 1? Oh yeah, if it's a 1, you definitely see Billy sitting there.
Yeah, so I'm going to say that as it was wrapping me up, I kind of looked towards my men to see what they're going to do, see if they see what's going on. Like I'm trying to judge if I need to yell. And then I see Billy like lower his rifle, his musket, and I think, Lord, here I come. And then I hear a pow, and I feel myself fall. And when I hit the ground, I look up and I'm like just complete and utter shock in my face. And I say, Lord, I take back every bad thing I ever said about that boy. You sent him straight from heaven. I got to declare.
Only the first round.
Billy, you've released Thomas from the tree limbs. Jack, are you still proceeding towards where Thomas is?
Right, I'm running up to see if he's okay and help pull him back, at least away from the trees, maybe, and maybe go straight toward the cages now.
Yeah, as soon as you run up to where Billy is, both of y'all roll a d6 as you're going to be in initiative with these trees. And if you got a dex bonus, be sure and roll add that. I mean, what did you get, Billy?
Hold on, me?
Yep, you and Jack both are. I'm sorry, not Billy. That's my fault. I'm sorry. Jack and Thomas. I don't know why I said Billy.
Yeah. 4.
I got a 2.
All right, Thomas at 4. And Jack at 2. Thomas, you can lead us out then as these trees are reaching and trying to grab you again. These limbs are just shooting out from a lot of the trees there.
I'm just going to shout, get back from the trees. And I'll take out my my pistol or my Colt, and I'm going to start running towards the house. And I'm just waiting for that front door to open. I'm hoping it'll open before I get there.
All right. What about Jack? As you see these tree limbs reaching out and grabbing towards both you and Thomas as he's taking off running.
If they're, I mean, I guess we're within range of them.
Yeah, you're close. You're pretty close to these trees.
Yeah, if that's the case, then I'm going to I'll pull out my knife and shoulder my rifle, and use my. That way I get to use my weapon specialist bonus. If they get close, I want to be able to hack at them and hit them.
Yeah, I mean these limbs are coming towards you. So if you want to, you definitely can take a swing and try to cut one of them right now.
How about obviously I also want to get away from these ridiculous things. So can I do a fighting withdrawal type of maneuver to increase the distance to get away from them? While also
you could try that. you can try that and still try to attack them. I'll let you do that. But
Okay.
you would also know that it appears these limbs are elongating more than what you would think would be normal from what you've ever seen, of course, too. But yeah, you can definitely try to do that.
Okay. Well, that's what I will try to do. Let's see. That would be the +1. What kind of modifier would I have? What kind of negative to hit on the to hit roll would I have for that?
I won't give you any penalty on actually trying to hit one of the limbs if you're going to try to knife it. Just normal.
All right. In that case, oh, it doesn't matter. I got a 9.
Yep, that's going to miss.
Ah!
As you see Thomas run away, though, Jack, you're staying there trying to cut some of the limbs. Yourself. You see some of the limbs start reaching towards you, and sure enough, they wrap you up now. And you'll take 5 points of damage as these leaves seem to just pierce straight into you and stuff. I mean, they're just like they're cutting into you. And you'll take 5 points of damage from that as they cut into you. So now, Billy, you and Haskins both see that the trees seem to have Jack entangled, and you see Thomas running towards the cabin and the children in the cage. Anything y'all want to do from the distance you're at or not?
I'm going to reload.
All right.
Yeah.
Haskins will fire.
You're going to fire at the tree that's got Jack entangled?
Yeah.
All right.
That's a 5. No.
Oh, no. We're still on the 1.
Nope, that will miss, unfortunately. I'll stay with you for now, Jack. Roll me another D6 for initiative since somebody's close to you right now.
Okay.
And let me know what you get.
I got a 5.
Yep, you got beat the tree this time, so you can what you want to do. If you want to try to break free from it, you would pretty much just make I'll just say you make a saving, you can test your saving throw, and if you want to try to break free from the limbs that have you entangled.
Okay.
Or you can actually cut and attack them if you want to.
I want to try to get free as best I can. So if that's a saving throw, now I do as an infantryman, I do have a saving throw plus my save is +2 versus death and poison. Not death or poison, I'm guessing.
No, not yet. Unless they get you down to 0. But yeah,
well, not yet.
As they pierced into you, you didn't feel any type of effects besides just the piercing of the leaves.
Okay, good. And I made my save is a 12, and I rolled a 12.
Yep, you're able to break free and get loose from them. You can, if you want to try to run off from them, they may try to get attacked, but I mean, you can try to run off from them now.
That's fine. I'm trying to run.
All right. Yep, you're able to run, and they're going to try to reach out and grab you one more time. Okay. And they're not going to do it. They're going to miss this time. Thank goodness that would have been max damage at 6 if they would have.
Yikes.
Yep. You're able to get away from them and to move towards the cabin also then.
Are we at a point where Jacobs would have signaled us now, or?
I figure all the gunfire and stuff. I kind of felt like the.
Okay, well that's kind of where I was too. Yeah.
Shit. So
yeah.
At this point, if I've gotten up to the door, I'm just going to try and kick it at where the doorknob is. I'm just going to try and kick the door open.
Yeah, but before you do that, the front door opens. As all this gunfire has awakened and everything is going around. The 2 children in the cage are frightened. But as you're moving up towards it, maybe Billy's is reloaded, headed that way also, I'm thinking. But the front door opens, and you see this stooped-over older man walk out, and he goes, well, I got a fresh pot of coffee. You want a cup of coffee there? You a major or a general?
I'm going to shoot him.
All right. Shoot him.
I'm going to, Jack is going to put up his knife, fix his bayonet on his rifle, because I imagine in that case it counts as his rifle and bayonet count as a melee weapon, right?
Yep, if you're going to try to use your
bayonet.
Doing. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Thomas, you can have a shot on the poor old man trying to give you a cup of coffee, I swear.
Plug it.
Yep. I rolled an 18.
Yep, 18 will hit him.
Great. Oh, let's see. So 1d6. 6 damage.
Yeah.
All right.
Shoot that old dude.
You see, he was holding a cup of steaming hot coffee, and he just drops it on the ground. And as he does, he looks towards you and he goes, "It'll be my pleasure to kill you first." And you see this old man as he starts to, his bones start to creak and crumble as he starts going from stooping over, and he's moving up into more as he transforms and takes the shape of this right here. You see these horns come out covered in fur. You see the cloven hoof and the half goat legs and the human upper body. You see the hands turn into these claws, these sharp teeth. You see this tongue just start lashing and lolling around out of his mouth, just covered in this nasty saliva.
Do I need
And
to
as
make a
it
sanity
does, yep, you sure do. You need to make me a standard save to see if you're going to be feared of it.
roll? All right. I think I get a +2 versus fear, I believe.
I think that's right. Charm and fear, ain't it, for the officer?
All right. Yep. So I got a +2 versus charm and fear. All right. So I rolled a 15.
Yep, you'll make it,
There
man.
you go.
13.
Yeah, as this old pearl man trying to drink his coffee changes into this hideous fur-covered horned beast. That's all he's going to do this round. So
I'm gonna shoot him again.
Chicory coffee. Oh, it's funny.
I'm gonna shoot him again. Gonna shoot him again.
We're going to go in initiative. If everybody can roll.
All right.
Let's see. What did you get, Billy?
5.
All right. What about Haskin?
3.
And Jack?
Jack got a 5.
All right. And what about Thomas?
3.
Wow. 3 people on 3s then. Billy, you and Jack are both on 5, but as you both can observe and see this creature step out from the doorway and turn into this hideous thing, both of y'all make a save.
Okay.
And let me see the infantryman. You won't get any bonus, just standard save.
I failed.
All right. What about Jack?
Jack got a 14, which I believe is he saved, right?
Yep. This doesn't affect you, Jack. You've seen the annals of war and what is the hideous things that have happened, so it has no effect on you. Billy, unfortunately, you haven't seen anything that is frightening you this much. You'll miss your turn on this round.
Okay. So I'm cowering under the bush that I'm hiding under or wherever I was.
Jack, it is up to you then.
And how close am I? Am I within?
I'm going to say probably 20 feet. You were moving that way originally, so, you're 20 feet away from
that might even be good. If I've got 20 feet, can I get a good run and charge this transformed fool and bayonet him?
Yep, nice, you can run. Yeah, you got enough to move
nice
to him. Nice
three-sided hole in him.
Yep, you got enough to move to him and try to
okay.
Bayonet Krampus.
Is that just a regular attack?
Yep, just a regular attack.
Okay,
melee attack.
In that case, my +1 bonus, and I got a 15 total.
A 15 total will miss him. Unfortunately, he steps over out of the way.
Oh, goaty thing. I don't like old goaty McGoat face.
Yeah, all he wanted was his coffee. Y'all interrupted his morning coffee. Haskin, make me a saving throw first.
That is a 1.
You will definitely fail. In fact, since you rolled a 1, I hate to be mean, but you know what? I'm going to be mean on this. I can't be mean.
You drunk bastard.
Oh my gosh, that is mean. I rolled on these Cthulhu dice I had.
Oh, no.
You are having thoughts of suicide right now.
Oh.
Wow.
Fantastic.
That is what you're doing. You're having thoughts of suicide. So play it out right now as you want to.
Excellent. Well, since I have my carbine and my saber, I'm just going to take my saber and fall on my sword.
All right, roll. Just roll straight damage to see how much damage you're going to do to yourself.
Only one.
Hey, that's where you need a 1.
Exactly.
Asking Jenkins, cautionary tale. Stay away from the ball, kids.
That's it. I'm out of here.
Thomas, you don't hear. Well, you may hear Haskins scream out, but you don't see what he does, of course, because you're standing there right next to the goat creature, and it is up to you.
Thomas is going to say, Men, just listen to me. I don't see nothing here but another blue-wearing Union Jack. And you know what we do to Union Jacks? Let's send them to hell. Hoorah! And I'm trying to give my speech skill. I'm using my speech skill so that I can give everyone a +1 on their saving throws and their 2 hits.
Perfect. Great use of it. So everybody will have a +1 there. Is the officer gives you instructions and encourages all of you at this time. The Krampus creature is standing there, of course, next towards you, Thomas, and Jack has run up and missed him, but he turns, as you give him a speech, he turns towards you again, Thomas, and his tongue shoots out of its mouth unnaturally long and tries to hit you. Oh, it's going to miss definitely as you're giving this speech and you're able to jump out of the way. We will go up to the next round. So initiative again, D6, and you got a dex mod add.
You see that, boys? Trying to suck my... Just like I told you, nothing but a Union Jack. Let's get him.
Billy, what'd you roll?
4.
Billy's on 4. What about Haskin?
2.
Haskin on 2. Jack?
6.
All right. And what about our commanding officer, Thomas?
5.
Jack, lead us out.
Bayonet attack.
All right.
Pivot and try to, again, poke holes in. Which I have a +1 and now a +1 because of...
Yep, of the inspiring speech. Yep.
All right. Well, that time I rolled a 15, got a 17 with the bonuses.
He jumps out of the way, but as he jumps out of the way, you make contact with him directly with a 17.
Excellent. The Maj, in this case. I don't have a bonus to damage from the officer's speech, correct? I was just
it's just
save and the hit.
Yep.
Okay, in that case, it's just a +1. All right, I rolled a 4, got a 5 with a +1. So,
all right, you do some more damage to this thing as it yelps out. Thomas, we are up to you, then.
Goat.
All right, I'll aim my 1860 Colt at it and fire away. Oh, nat 20 for 3 damage.
I tell you what, on your nat, also just I think you missed it in the first part of the game, but you've got the revolver, so just remember you keep up your shots. After 6 shots are fired out of it, you'll have to reload it. So just remember that if it comes to that. All right. Yeah, and if you what would be your max damage? Do you remember?
It's a 1d6.
Yeah, you'll do 6 damage to it then for nat 20. I'm going to say.
All right, nice.
Yeah, you get a good shot into this thing. As you shoot into it, it screams out and looks straight back towards you as he had a 5 also. He doesn't see any threat coming from Jack standing there at this point. He sees all the threat coming from you, Thomas, as you're leading your man. Whew. He rolled a 19. You will take, as he just reaches out this time with these claws and scrapes you with these claws, you'll take 3 points of damage for these claws as they rake into you.
All right.
Billy, we are up to you.
Okay.
As you're back to normal.
All right. So I'm reloaded because I reloaded the round before I was frozen. So I'm going to take a shot at him from the bush that I'm hiding in.
All right.
Assuming that he's not hidden behind people. That's a 16 plus 3 is 19.
19 hits him.
All right. Let's see. D6 plus 2. 6 plus 2, 8.
All right. Perfect.
Crack shot. I shoot him in the butt.
Yeah. You see more poof pouring out of him. He lets out another yell. Haskin, make me a saving throw, and you can have a +2 at it.
That's a 3.
You are still having suicidal thoughts.
Cautionary tale part 2.
I am very upset that this saber seems to be very dull.
Gee, maybe it wasn't properly maintained.
I wonder.
Poor
I
soldier.
stabbed myself again.
All right, roll your damage to yourself.
Oh, that's 6 points this time.
Mm.
Obviously, you did not hear my inspiring speech.
I guess not. He probably asleep.
He was thinking about a warm bed and a woman and a bottle, but it didn't work.
Not necessarily in that order.
We're up to the next round. Billy, what'd you roll?
Okay, we got 2.
All right, Billy's on 2. What about Haskin?
5.
Let's see if Haskin can kill himself this time. Jack, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 4.
And Thomas.
Oh, 6.
Thomas, lead us out, man.
All right, I'm going to be shooting this thing on my 3rd shot. Nat 20 again.
All right, so 6 damage. Perfect. You do some more major damage to this thing, then. Haskin, come on, make that save at +2. I'm giving you. I'm trying to help you.
Yeah, I can see that.
If you would just watch me shoot this thing, you might get some courage.
This is a fault this time. I'm improving.
Tearing it apart.
We're in fighting. You know, fighting this thing. Come on.
Did you
That's
say
a 4. Yes, a 4.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Well,
I slice again. Oh my gosh, another 6.
oh my Lord. Are you still up?
I collapse.
Is that 0 or negative?
That is -1.
Roll me a saving throw at -1 now.
That is 16. Yes.
You're conscious at 1 hit point, so make a note. Conscious at 1 HP. Jack.
I didn't see any of that foolishness, did I?
If you want,
I'll
even let you adjudicate if you wanted to. If you want me to roll,
no, I think that Jack he's a seasoned soldier. If he's engaged in hand-to-hand combat with a goat monster, some cavalry goofball hacking at himself with his saber is not of importance to him at the moment.
Yeah,
he's trying to stab old Goaty up here. So, it's Jack's turn.
Yep, Jack can go ahead.
All right. In that case, I got a +2 to hit. I don't know if does a 16 hit him?
16 will miss him barely.
I rolled a 14. I rolled a 14. That's 16 is +2. That's for the +1. His wait a minute, is that his +1 ability or +2 ability?
Well, you get a +1 also from my speech. It lasts for 1 whole turn.
Oh wait, no, that's right. That would be +3 because my strength is 15, which would be a +1 to hit as well for hand.
Yeah,
I
did hit him with 17.
I have that. That was just it's +3. You're right. Thanks, Crystal. It is actually +3, not a +2 right now. So I hit. And that would be for damage. That is a +2 for damage as well because of the strength. Nice. It's got a 7.
All right.
5 + 2 is 7. Stabby.
Yep, and it screams out and yells again as both of y'all are trying to take it down as we move to you, Billy.
I'm reloading.
All right.
Hiding in my book.
The creature is going to look. Let's see. He's got both of y'all now that are making contact with him. Well, he's going to stay with you, Thomas, it looks like, because he reaches out with his claws again with 18 to hit and max damage of 5 for you, Thomas, with these claws that scrape into you.
All right. I'm pretty bloodied right now.
All right. We'll go to the next round. Yeah, call the cleric. Billy, what'd you get?
3.
All right. What about Haskin?
5.
And Jack?
5.
And Thomas.
4.
Haskin, I'm going to start with you. You're conscious at 1 HP, and you've snapped out of this suicide tendency that it hit you as you lapsed out of it. You lapsed out of consciousness for just a moment, but you're back conscious now with 1 HP. You're muted, Mike.
I'm going to try to locate my carbine and then fire at will.
All right.
That is a 2.
Ooh, I'm glad it wasn't a 1.
Yep.
Yep.
Dice are hot tonight.
You see one of the children jump up out of the cage as it goes flying by him. Jack, you had a 5 also.
I did. Stabby.
All right.
That would be a miss. I rolled an 8.
All right,
3.
that's a miss. Yep.
11.
Thomas, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I mean, I guess shot number 4. This time I only rolled a 10.
Yep, that one missing. Billy, you and the creature both had a 3, so you go.
All right. I'm reloaded, so I'm going to shoot him again from the bushes. 19 plus blunch. That hits anyways, right?
Oh, yeah.
For 5 points of damage.
Yeah, you see this thing starting to appear to be a little bit weaker than it has been. But as it turns its attention to both Jack and Thomas, this time it turns towards you, Jack, seeing that it thinks it's severely injured Thomas. So it takes and rakes these claws at you with a 17 to hit, and you'll take max damage of 5 as these claws rake into you, Jack.
Well, crap. Damage of 5?
Yep.
Okay. I'm still up.
All right, next round. Billy, what'd you get?
6 this time.
Let's see. Haskin.
1.
Jack.
4.
And Thomas.
Oh, sorry. 4.
All right, Billy, you can lead us out.
I'm ducked down behind my bush reloading.
All right. The creature had a 5, so it's going to turn towards Jack and Thomas are still there. It's going back towards you, Jack. A 19. You take 4 points. 4 points of damage.
Well, I'm pretty poor now.
All right.
Okay, is it my turn?
Yep, you and Thomas both had 4s, so it is y'all's turn.
Can I tell by inspecting this thing? Of course, I understand it's unlike anything I've ever seen, really. Does it look like I know we're damaging it, but is it just getting madder or
No, you can tell it's breathing more heavily, and it's kind of like on its goat legs, it's kind of stumbling a little bit. You can tell that it appears not to be as healthy itself either at this point.
Okay. In that case, I'll stabby.
All right.
Let's give it another shot here. Oh, I rolled a 19 plus 3 for a total of 22.
Yeah, that's definitely going to hit that thing.
I'll take that one. And then be a plus 2 for that. And not another 7. 5 plus 2 for 7 damage.
Whatever you do, tell me how you take this creature down then where it was stumbling around.
Oh. Well, this thing has done a lot of damage to us. But after it pivoted back toward me and attacked me, while it was, I'm guessing, slashing at me with its claws, it still hit me, but I pivoted just enough that I flipped my rifle and brought the bayonet down on its back as it passed me, as it slashed, and apparently stabbed it from behind in something very important.
Yep, and as you do, the blood starts flowing as it falls to the ground, and you see it start transforming back into the old man for just a moment, the old stooped over man who just wanted a cup of coffee. But as that is happening, Billy, you hear a rustle as some of the trees that are close to you, these limbs come shooting out at you. And they will hit you with a 17, and you'll take 4 points of damage as these tree limbs reach out towards you, Billy, and you are grappled by some of these tree limbs. Haskin, you are probably in a position to see this happen to Billy as you're up next with your one.
I reload.
You're reloading. Thomas, you're staying there. You had a 5 also. You're staying there with Jack, who is taking this creature down. You're not going to be able to see this happen to Billy at this point, though. Or is there anything else you'd like to do at that point, though?
I will. I'm going to take out a cigar. I'm going to start putting a cigar in my mouth, thinking that, that this stuff is kind of over. And did they have lighters back then?
He would have used I'm sure, for a cigar, he'd been using a nice wooden match.
Yep.
All right. Okay. Yeah. So
officer grade wooden match.
So yeah. Yeah. So I'll strike me up a match and light my cigar.
Where are the, even though I'm wounded, Jack's gonna look around. Where are the children? Think of the children. No, where are the children?
Yeah, you hear coming from inside the cabin a couple whimpering of probably what you would think be some more children inside the cabin also.
Let's get the children out of here and burn this goddamn place to the ground.
As y'all are preparing to do that, though, we're going to have to jump back to poor Billy, who is entangled. Billy, roll initiative.
7.
Yep, you get to go. So, do you want to? You can, if you want to try to escape the grapple, you just make a save, or if you want to actually try to stab it, fight it, whatever.
All right. I don't think because I have my rifle in my hand, so I'm going to just try to break away, and I'm going to yell, "The tree has me!" And I roll 15.
Yep, that should be good enough, man.
And I break free, and I'm going to run towards the house with the.
Yep, as you're running, the trees are going to try one last grab at you, though. And hey, Mike, bless you. I rolled a 2 now, so they miss you.
Good. Maybe it's rubbed off on you.
You're able to run towards your cabin. Haskin, you see all of him breaking loose from the tree, and you see all the trees that seem to be, the red leaves are starting to fall off of them into the ground, into this beautiful white snow-covered ground now. Nothing else seems to be a threat at this point.
Are you telling me that them trees are still alive?
Well, you can see like my torn clothes and some blood, and I say, "It got me, sir. But this beast, this creature, I'm going to take my my rosary beads out from around my neck, and I'm going to put them on the creature."
Yeah, the old man. He's transformed back into the shape of the old man, right?
Yeah, I put it back on the old man.
Yep, nothing happens. The body, the human body of the old man just lies there.
Yep. Yeah.
Let's get.
And then I start humming Christmas tunes.
Come on, let's get the children.
Yeah, I was going to say, Thomas, as you and Jack go in there, you find 2 more of the children. There'll be 4 total, 2 in the cage. The 2 you find in the cabin, though, you find lying next to them these kind of birch switches that are there, and you can see that they've been whipped with these birch switches, the 2 that are inside the cabin. I mean, it's nothing to warrant any kind of medical issue or anything, but you can tell they've been switched with these. The girl that's inside the cabin, she looks at you and she goes, "I promise I won't be bad next year."
Do they have do they have clothing suitable to get them bundled up somehow, or a blanket, or
oh yeah, they would have
something that we could put on them to get them back to town, right?
It appears that these 2 in the cabin, you always had their night clothing on that they slept in, and you find blankets or some extra blankets or stuff you can wrap them up in. The 2 in the cage were had been looked like stripped down to just normal clothing. They didn't have any heavy winter clothing on.
I'll throw a blanket over Billy and I'll say, shake the goat off of that and wrap them kids up. We get back down.
I will do it.
And still alive?
All I heard was alive. Crystal, what was the?
Is Calvary Jenkins still alive?
Barely, right?
I am applying medicinal liquids to me right now.
All right. If all of them are still alive, well, they're getting the children away from the house and everything. I'm gonna drag that old man's body into the house, and I'm gonna see if I can find some kerosene or something.
Whiskey would be useful.
Oh yeah, I do have a half a thing of whiskey. So yeah, so I will. I'll pour some whiskey over this man's body, and then I'll kind of start as best I can fling it around the room and stuff. Try and get the room as wet as I can. I don't know if he has any lamps for kerosene or anything. If he does, then I'll probably end up pouring that out as well.
If he's got a lamp or something, smash it.
Yep.
And then as I finish my cigar, I'll just flick it into the kerosene on the ground. I'm going to start burning that cabin.
Yep, you're able to burn the cabin. You leave the old man's body in there with it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're able to.
I want to watch it burn.
Yep, you're able to burn the cabin. You get the children bundled up enough in some blankets and coats and stuff, and you can definitely watch the cabin burn to the ground and head back if that's what you want to do.
Watch the old man's body catch fire and everything, and as everything starts to flame up real well, I want to look at the trees and see if there's any kind of difference.
Yeah, all the trees that were with these vibrant dark red leaves, all the leaves have shed and fallen on this beautiful. It just made a beautiful red image across this beautiful white snow. All the leaves have fallen to the ground.
Okay. All right. So yeah, as good as they should be, I'll say, all right, I think we can get out of here, and I'll grab one of the children so I can carry the child. I figure each of us can carry a child back to town.
Well, except maybe.
I can't.
Who then?
All
right.
I just don't have
I'll let one of them ride on my shoulders, and I'll carry the other one. I'll carry the little girl, and I'll let the little boy ride on my shoulders.
Yeah. I'll again. Jack will bring up the rear with one of the, if there's whichever kids need to be with the kid, we'll keep the kids in the middle of our marching order.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. If they can walk, great. If not, we'll carry whoever can't walk. If they walk, then they're walking.
Yeah, I mean, you're able to make it back.
The thing is, they were in their pajamas. I doubt they have any shoes on. Deep, swampy, snowy water.
Yeah, good point.
Well, they're not dead.
Exactly.
No, ask Haskins. It's almost dead.
Right. There was only 3 kids, right?
4. There was 2 in the cage and 2 inside.
I'll carry 2 kids. I was carrying a whole pile of logs before.
That's a good point. Very well played there, sir.
Yeah.
See what you did. Setting the precedent.
And as we are marching through the woods, I'm gonna say, Billy, you saved my life today, son. I'm gonna make sure that the other officers hear about this.
Thank you, sir. I'm always shooting squirrels out, for dinner.
Well, it seems like all that shooting paid off.
Yeah, you just aim in the general direction and close your eyes. Works great.
Y'all were able to make it back to the small town of around Haynes Bluff. And as you do, and come into the town, some of the townsfolk are out on the street, pacing back and forth. You don't see the Jacob, the old farmer, around, but you do see the older, astute gentleman that welcomed you to town. And as he approaches your group and sees, not any of his children, he's too old to have children that young. He walks up towards you and he goes, "Well, best thanks to you all for getting involved in something that was none of your business. It looks like it turned out okay, though."
And needs medical attention.
Is it still, if it's still daylight enough for them to see, can they see the column of smoke from Swampy Old Man's cabin burning?
Oh yeah, you could definitely still probably see it. Yeah, there's about there's about 2 hours of daylight left.
Okay. In that case, I point at that smoke and I say, "You see that smoke? The next time something comes in here and starts stealing children, go find it and set it on fire. Okay?"
But of course, yes.
Idiots. And here's your children.
Yeah, I'm going to give them, I've already given back their children. I'll say, now, our cavalryman, man here, he needs medical attention. He's also going to need a bottle of whiskey and a warm woman to lay with. Make sure that he gets it.
I love this man.
I'm still pissed that you let people take your children.
Sir,
I will follow you anywhere,
sir. I think you might want to. He's not very healthy right now, sir.
I said a young woman to lay with. Didn't say anything else.
What he? Never mind. I'll just say, listen. When I got up this morning, I felt fully healthy. Now I feel only 1/8 as healthy as I felt this morning. I'm 1/8 the soldier that I was this morning.
Yeah.
I just need some coffee and some grub and some sleep.
Well, on a scale from 1 to 16, I'm about a 3. So I know how you're feeling. It's a pretty odd scale, I know, but just trust me. I get what you're saying. I'm just saying our cavalryman here, he looks like he's on a 1.
I am pathetic.
Hey, Haskin, again, what was it? What'd you get in a fight with?
It was those trees, man. Did you see that?
No, that was
tore me up.
No, that was Thomas, and that was Billy, and that was me. I don't think the trees laid a limb on you.
Well, when you guys were fighting the goat man, that's when the trees lit into me up top there.
Oh, okay.
And now the town folks are looking. And now the town folks are all looking at us like we're fucking insane.
Right.
Talking about trees,
attacking trees. Yeah. But they got their kids back. It's crazy sounding, but just crazy enough to be true.
As we wrap
at least we're here. Go ahead, Tony.
I was going to say, as we wrap up Christmas Day of 1862, it's customary. We'll go into the part of hearing how the story is going to end. And Billy, you're up first. Tell us how the story is going to end on this beautiful Christmas Day as the town welcomes you back with a wonderful feast. The children are attended to. Haskin is giving the best medical care that he can at this point.
So Billy, relieved that they were able to get the children back. Makes a snowman and sings Christmas carols and eats with the people, not knowing that in the months of the war to come, he will get captured, fall in love with a northern woman, and run off from the army to marry her and start a business in Montana.
Oh, perfect. Haskin, before we hear how the story ends for you that evening or that afternoon, the The town elder brings in all these grandmotherly older women that are tending to your wounds and stuff. You see none of the young, beautiful women of the town helping you, but how's it going to end for Haskin?
Oh my God. I had some granny for her bed warmers.
They are the medicine women of the village.
Haskin will very happily occupy this house for the duration of his recovery, assuring everybody that he will get back to the front lines as soon as possible.
Jack, tell us how the story's going to end for Jack at this point.
Well, at this point, Jack is he is rather wounded after encounter with Goaty McSwampman or Swampy McGoatman, whichever. And unfortunately, even though obviously this was a job well done and it didn't help him much, he continued to serve in the Confederate Army, and he did so well enough. Didn't get demoted. Was still a sergeant. Was actually still a sergeant when he died not quite a year later, September 19th, the Battle of Chickamauga in northwestern Georgia. He was bayoneted to death in the battle there. And he, as he was dying, he was sure that the Union soldier, the old Union soldier who stabbed him, didn't have boots on and had cloven feet, but it must obviously was just some sort of dying fever dream.
Oh, perfect. Throw in a bit of historical with the legend. Thomas, how's it going to end for Thomas?
Well, Thomas, he continues to lead his men with honor and everything, but he doesn't make it till when the next winter comes around. He catches a bullet in the leg, and it ends up getting infected in the swamps that he's in at the moment. He ends up getting a little bit of gain, and he's trying his men, and his dying, just got to carry on without me. Carry on until this war ends, and it will eventually. Because if there's one thing that's true, it's that war never changes. And then he dies.
Perfect. Now we come to the point of how the story will end, in my vision. We started out on Christmas Day that afternoon, about 30 minutes after the children had been rescued and brought back. The meals were being prepared and fed for Christmas Day, the celebrations of the safe children. Sergeant Jordan Evans comes back with some more troops from Vicksburg. As you fill in and report to him of what happened, most of all the legends and falsehoods of what you've seen are lost in the annals of history and annals of time, besides what you four know yourselves. We jump back to the history books for a moment. As you're able to have a good meal, but they send you on out to the Yazoo River to do your original mission, to scout and look for troops from the Union Army coming up either the Yazoo River or coming through the bayou on foot. And sure enough, the next day, December 26th, the Battle of Chickasaw Bayou takes place from December 26th to December 29th, as you four find yourself part of that. Eventually, Major General Grant's army takes over the Confederate stronghold of Vicksburg later in early 1863. You're all transferred and sent to your places and described as you did. That ends the part of the historical portion. of this adventure. Now we jump forward a year ahead of time on December 24th, 1863, as we scan back over the small town of Haynes Bluff. You see a child in a house, about 8 years old, a little boy. He appears to be kind of dirty, unkempt in a way, his hair not. He walks up to his mother and he goes, "Mama, I should have told you earlier, but I've been bad this year. But do you think he'll come back tonight? I don't want to go with the old man. Those soldiers said they burned his house and took care of him, but I've been bad. I shouldn't have done this, Mama." The mama hushes the boy, puts the boy to bed, and says, "Well, son, of course, there's nothing to worry about. Those fine soldiers, they saved us from ever happening again." The little boy finally nods off. The mother goes to bed, her husband off at war himself. A few hours passes deep into the night. It's a bright full moon. There's no snow this night. A bright full moon in the sky as we go to the edge of Haynes Bluff, the village, the town. We see an old man come out of the woods holding this mug of coffee. He puts it up and he takes a sip and he goes, "Oh, time to take the bad one again. I'll do good this year. I'm just going to take one of them. He had to call out to me and said he was bad. But I just don't understand why them soldier boys didn't like that chicory coffee." That ends the adventure known as Christmas at Walnut Hills, using White Box as a system and using homebrew classes for Civil War, the American Civil War, as the old man throws down a coffee cup and moves towards the town. Thank y'all for playing.